good way to end the year.
Very nice job. I'm kind of tearful. I'm Mark Ovenden. I'm going to try to hold it together for the show because it's our final Football Friday, and that's always kind of a sad night. And, you know, so we're going to do our best here.
I've never actually seen you cry, so I'd kind of like to see that. I'm Zach Borg, by the way. We've got playoff highlights from Minnesota, Iowa, and, of course, South Dakota. And Frisbees has been with us all season long as our sponsor. We've got a great show to finish things up. And we start our coverage at Howard Wood Field with Roosevelt and Washington. These two have seen each other plenty. Remember, the Riders blanked the Warriors 29-0 in their first meeting. Washington driving on their opening possession, but Jaden Johansson is picked off by Devlin McManus to deny him a touchdown. He returns it back a couple of yards. The Riders march right down the field, and then the Wildcats, Aaron Kusler getting in for the 3-yard score. 7-0 Roosevelt after one. They'd shut out Washington through 5 quarters this season. And yeah, that ended because of this guy, Tupac Capea. Wow. He puts on the PlayStation moves, 20 yards to the house. We're all tied up at 7. Here's a gutsy call late in the half. Washington facing 4th and 15. Chad Statham going for it on the 22. That's a good call because Jaden Johansson finds Jet Anderson, who jets in for a score. 15-7 Washington at the break. And Tupac would keep him fired up in the second half. This is a 5-yard touchdown run. He finished with 3 touchdowns on the day. No surprise here. Washington going back to the Dome, 28-14.
Over at the MAC, it was a rematch of that game a couple of weeks ago in Brandon where the Lynx pounded unbeaten O'Gorman 40-15. They got off to a bad start in this one, or that one, same thing here.
Wow.
A screen pass picked off. Jackson Hilton goes the distance. He had a great night tonight. It's 7-0 Brandon Valley. Thomas Skolton, he can throw. Ty McCann, he can catch.
Wow.
Tate Johnson, he can run. Right up the middle for the touchdown. It's 14-0 now in favor of the Lynx.
This is like a replay, but it's in O'Gorman this time.
Really,
not Brandon.
almost an identical replay of it. Jesse Steffel with a nice run coming up here. It was 14-0 in favor of the Knights, or in favor of the Lynx. Here's Steffel to the outside, cutting it down the sideline. They can run the football. They're not a wide open team like they maybe have been in the past. Andrew Hansen with a touchdown. It's 22-0 at halftime, and they go on to win thanks to some great defense, 29-15. And again, Washington over Roosevelt, 28-14. They will play in the championship game. On to Class 11 AA and one of my favorite venues in the state, the new look Crane Youngworth Field, and that's where Nicole Griffith was tonight.
Hey Mark, it's the home of the Yankton Bucks as they hosted the Huron Tigers with the winner headed to the championship in the Dome. Huron won impressively at Harrisburg last week, and while the Bucks needed a last-second field goal to advance, slow first quarter to the second, Huron down 3-0, but 5-yard touchdown by Chipper Schillingstad changes it 7-3. Same quarter, Yankton responds. Ethan Washawn to Michael Drotzman up and over the defender for the score. 10-7 Bucks. They regain the lead. But Huron is not going away. Later in the quarter, they pull out the tricks. The running back airs it out to Kobe Bush, and he's down at the 10-yard line. Same possession, less than a minute in the first half. It's Schillingstad again. He's going to punch it in. Ball comes out, but the score comes first. Tigers retake the lead 14-13, and the final 28-23.
And Pierre also a 40-7 win over Brookings tonight, so it's Huron against Pierre in that championship.
Second time Huron's ever been to the Dome.
On to Class 11A and the top-seeded T-Titans. They were at home tonight against the 11-time state champions from West Central, a team that had been playing great down the stretch.
Pass rush.
And look at that, Mitchell Edberg with the sack for the Trojans. However, next T drive, it's going to be Hunter West to Carter Slykehouse over the middle. Great catch. He hung on somehow, and then West is going to find Wyatt Van Tall. And that gets into the end zone. They go up 7-0 at halftime and go on to win 28-0.
The number 1 team until 2 weeks ago was Dakota Valley. Tonight, the high-powered Panthers hosting Dell Rapids, who they blew out earlier in the season. A bit of a different story tonight. Panthers right down the field on their first possession, but picked off by Dell Rapids Jr. Logan Ellingson. Dakota Valley gets the ball right back, though. This time they cash in. Sam Chesterman in for the score as the Panthers take a 7-0 lead. But on the ensuing kickoff, Dell Rapids answers with a humongous play. Ellingson making things happen, following his blockers, breaks a tackle, and see you later. 90-yard touchdown. If you're going to pull an upset, you have to answer like this. and they tie things up at 7.
Huge.
Dell Rapids would take a 13-7 lead, but Dakota Valley's Charlie Cox gets an interception to prevent things from getting any worse. This one went back and forth in the second half. Dell Rapids scores late to win 25-22.
And there's your T-score. Wow. Dell Rapids, 2 straight weeks with big upsets. In Class 11B, the defending state champions from Sioux Falls Christian traveling to #1 Canton to play the unbeaten Seahawks. And there is Dawson Mulder with a 15-yard run. It's 24-0 at halftime. Chargers. Seahawks rally. Scott Peterson throws to Caden Burley in the end zone. It's 24-6. Later in the third, Peterson this time to Isaac Dietzenbach in the end zone. It's 24-14. We got a game. But in the fourth quarter, who do you go to when you want to salt the game away? Yeah, Parker Nelson, number 20 for 29 yards.
Nice.
And get this one, Sioux Falls Christian knocks off #1 Canton 38-20.
Canton's only loss this year. Another great matchup, at least on paper, at Sparky Anderson Field in Bridgewater, where Jeff Van Loor's Seahawks hosting Mount Vernon Plankinton. Seahawks airing it out. Brady Hawkins right into your living room to Sawyer Schultz, the great basketball player. Yeah, you can haul in touchdowns too as they take the lead a little bit later in the first half. Hawkins showing you what he can do with his legs as well. Evading tacklers, crossing field and going 34 yards. Bridgewater Emery-Ethan up 28-0. Did not see this kind of game coming on because MVP has been great all year, but so has Bridgewater Emery-Ethan. Hawkins and Schultz hooking up down the sideline again for another score. And we will have a rematch of last year's state championship as they win it 41-6.
Well, that's pretty impressive. All right, you were at Garretson tonight.
Yeah, the 9AA Blue Dragons of Garretson rolling out the red carpet to face Kimball White Lake. This game was actually tied at 14 at one point. It was 28-14 at the half. Fake punt here. This is what you call going for the jugular. Javen Hoven fakes it and goes for a first down, and then he comes back and throws a touchdown to Cody Westendorf. That was their opening drive, lasted 6 minutes and 52 seconds, and they're up 36-14. Fourth quarter, Garretson trying to get back in it, but look at big Tyler Resick. He just throws him down. They stop him inside the 10-yard line, and Kimball White Lake goes all the way down the field. You know it's your day when this happens. They fumble, but Carter Fredrickson, look what I found, Ma. He puts it in. They scored in this game 28 unanswered to win 42-14.
They're really good.
Yeah, and they'll face Bonham in the title game.
Whoa, let's go back to that scoreboard, please. Whoop, there we go. If we could go back to the 9AA, there we go. Kimball White Lake over Garretson, 42-14, and then Bonham, 43-14, beats top-ranked and undefeated Woolsey Wessington in 9A. Canastota Freeman goes on the road at Timberlake to win 44-20.
Howard's
and look
wild
at there.
season
That's
continues.
the second straight week they've had a low-scoring game, and yet they still win at Britton Hecla 12-8. And in 9B, Sully Buttes 48-14. And how about Cologne? Those Cowboys can score points.
That'll be a good title game.
74-28. Yes, you're right. It will be. All right, in the Iowa playoffs, the Nighthawks of Boyden-Hull Rock Valley have been rolling all season long. Tonight they hosted Southeast Valley, and they were not good hosts. In the first quarter, down 6-0, they would come right back. JT Van Hull, the Cody Post, breaks a tackle, uses his speed, goes to the end zone. It's 6-6, and they are just getting cranked up. Van Hull then calls his own number. It's 13-0 on the cakewalk into the end zone. Van Hull again calls his number again. He takes it around the corner. It's 20 unanswered points. It's 20-6 after a quarter. Midway through the second, Van Hull then throws to Bo DeYoung, who stiff arms his way into the end zone. They go on to win 48-6 in Class 2A. Class 3A, Spencer shutout 27-0. And Class 1A, West Sioux wins again 34-20.
Also a busy day for the Minnesota playoffs. It was a day in Marshall where we had 4 more section championships after Hills Beaver Creek and RTR last night. Perennial power, top-ranked Minneota, the defending 1A champs, running into Bold. And Bold made a bold statement in this game. Jordan Sagedahl to Lucas Ryan. It's 7-0. A little bit later in the first, rinse, lather, repeat. Look at this bomb. Another touchdown to Ryan. It's 14-0. He kept waiting for Minneota to answer, but Bold was not going to let that happen, and it was mainly because of Sagedahl, who did it all on defense as well. He's going to come up with the interception right here, led to another touchdown, diving play.
Wow.
All Bold.
I was shocked by that.
Yeah, I agree.
Just shocked.
That's crazy.
And finally, in Class 2A, Pipestone against Redwood Valley. Pipestone's Jason Steenstra is going to take the handoff, and off he goes for a nice long run. And what does that do? That sets up Cody Thompson for the touchdown pass to Terry Price. Here is coming up here as Thompson lets it fly, rolling to his right, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Arrows. Beautiful pass. Second quarter, still second quarter. Redwood Valley's Cole Woodford with the touchdown pass to Brennan Sanders. That makes it a 7-7 ball game. And with Pipestone threatening, right down near the goal line, it's going to be picked off. Actually, with Redwood Valley threatening, Pipestone's Jason Steenstra with a pick in the end zone. It was a wild finish. Pipestone scores to pull within 1. Let's go to the scoreboard. They go for 2 and don't get it. Wow. They lose 31-30. Jackson County Central, all of our local Minnesota teams lost tonight. It was Minneota 49-7 to Bold, and Murray County Central losing from Slayton to Springfield 15-14. And that's our final edition of Football Friday. Of course, we'll have high school championship games next week from the Dome, but this is our final Football Friday. I'll let you know what's going on in other sports, including Skyforce highlights.
Good season, sir.
Next.